India versus Australia, the two favourites of this Women's World Cup. India is up against the 7-time world champion Australia, and they will not be feeling that confident because of the last loss they faced against South Africa. A very warm welcome to everyone. I'm Akash Kaushik, and with me we have
Siddharth Rege.
And you are watching NewsX, and today we are here to talk about this India versus Australia match that is going to be played at the Visakhapatnam Stadium. First of all, Siddharth, how excited are you for the match?
Very excited because, Akash, by far these are the two teams that you would expect entering the finals.
Absolutely.
Based on both their performances and the caliber. India, of course, being the host, have had a shaky performance last time around, but I won't say it's a cause of worry yet. But, it's the home team. It's going to be a home crowd that we're going to be seeing there at Visakhapatnam, and that's going to matter a lot.
That is going to matter a lot, but in this World Cup, Australia is undefeated yet, and we just lost the momentum against South Africa. The biggest problem, the biggest concern is that the top order, the big stars are not performing. Our biggest names, Smriti Mandhana hasn't performed yet in this World Cup, and neither has Harmanpreet Kaur. But I'm going to tell you a very interesting fact that just before this World Cup, India and Australia faced each other in a series, in a 3-match series, and India lost that series 2-1. But you know who was the player of the series? It was Smriti Mandhana. She scored a couple of centuries and she was in absolute form. So Australian bowlers are a little bit afraid from Smriti Mandhana. How are you looking at Smriti Mandhana for this?
Very interestingly, Alyssa Perry or Alyssa Healy, they've spoken well about Smriti Mandhana in the run-up to this game. Perry and Smriti obviously share their dressing room in their RCB team as well. So Smriti Mandhana, she is one of the batsmen who is very fearless, and that works in such occasions. We've seen it play out in the men's cricket as well with what Abhishek Sharma did in the recent Asia Cup as well. Smriti Mandhana needs to, in this game as well, just be Smriti Mandhana and play the way Smriti Mandhana plays. Because as I said, it's not been too much of a worry. Yes, she's got those starts. She's got 30 against Pakistan, 23 against South Africa as well. So she's been getting those starts, but yes, to capitalize that is key because she is the glue that keeps this team together. Pratika Rawal, known for her, her fearless approach herself as well. These two, in the recent times, have been by far India's most successful opening partnership as well. Yeah. So Smriti there being very, very key. She knows these bowlers as well. She's played them previously. She's played them very recently, in fact. So this, if there is a game occurs for Smriti Mandhana to find that form, it is going to be this game.
It is going to be this game because she'll have that momentum scoring 2 tons. But let's talk about the playing 11 and what's going to be playing 11 for both the sides.
Yeah.
Let me tell you first about what's going to be the playing 11 for India, and then we'll have a detailed discussion about it. The openers will be for definitely, as he mentioned, Pratika Rawal and Smriti Mandhana. At number 3, we'll see Harleen Deol. At number 4, the captain herself, Harmanpreet Kaur. At number 5, we'll have Jemima Rodriguez. Then we'll have Deepti Sharma. Then we'll have Amanjot Kaur. Then we have Richa Ghosh. Obvious to mention what she did in the last game against South Africa. A phenomenal score of 94. Just missed a well-deserved century by 6 runs. Then you have Sneh Rana, then Kranti Gaur, and obviously Sri Charani at the last. So what do you think about this squad?
I think it's a very solid squad. Let's not shy ourselves away from saying that. I think the batting order, I would like Richa Ghosh to come 2-3 places above the order because Jemima Rodriguez is not finding that form. Harmanpreet, she's obviously the most experienced in the team, so she gets to keep that spot. But overall, I think that we bat deep, and since it's going to be Vizag, the spinners are going to be playing a role in the game as well. So you have your Deepti Sharmas and others, holding the fort there as well.
But don't you think that I personally feel that if it's a spinning friendly wicket, then you should have the likes of Sneh Rana and Richa Ghosh down the order, because if we collapse again just like we did against South Africa, there'll be someone at least to capitalize it in the later on, because Australia is not gonna let loose. If they get the top order quickly, they are gonna turn up and dominate.
I'm gonna just remind you of a quote of Saurav Ganguly, जिसने बोला था कि प्लेयर को बाद में भेजने से प्लेयर नहीं बनाया जाता, प्लेयर को ऊपर भेजने से प्लेयर बनाया जाता है. I think Richa Ghosh has now found that caliber in herself to not be somewhere down the number 7 and number 8. A player of her caliber, if she gets those 30 overs, I think it's going to make a huge impact. It's going to be a difference between that score of 220, 230 and 270, 280, which then becomes a huge deal to, if in case Australia is chasing, that is a huge score. Absolutely. And that is going to be a challenge considering their form as well. Yes, they beat Pakistan, but you saw how they beat Pakistan as well? Yeah. Because they were 76 for 7 in a spot of bother when then came the rescue from Beth Mooney as well. But
a phenomenal century.
Phenomenal century. Let's not shy away from that. But that's a challenge for them for sure.
That's a challenge for them for sure, but they are also, the bigger matches are yet to come. It is as big a match for Australia as it is for India, because they also haven't been challenged in this World Cup yet. They couldn't play against Sri Lanka because of rain. They played well against New Zealand. They won that match by 89 runs. But New Zealand again is not another strong teams on the women's side, and obviously Pakistan is also at the bottom of the table.
Yeah.
So they haven't met any of the champion or the stronger sides in this World Cup up till yet. But still talking about what is going to be the average score. But before that, let's come to Australia's playing 11.
Absolutely. So Australia's playing 11, I don't see any changes happening because of the kind of players they have playing there. Alyssa Healy obviously plays, she's the captain. Phoebe Litchfield is the opening batsman with her. Elise Perry is going nowhere. Yeah. Beth Mooney after last match's performance is going to be at 4. Annabelle Sutherland, she's an important all-rounder for them as well. Ashley Gardner, Tahila McGrath is important down in the lower order. Georgia Wareham, you have Kim Garth and Alana King. So it's a solid lineup. It has experience. It has won championships. It has everything that you need in an opponent.
Absolutely, and with the expertise of Elise Perry and Alyssa Healy, both of these batsmen, and not just batsmen, Elise Perry is an all-rounder, but they dominate from the front. They can go to the big total. Now let's talk about what is going to be the big total. The last match against South Africa, it was a slow wicket as in Vizag, as you told, but 250 was not a match winning.
Yeah, it wasn't.
We lost at 250. So if India goes up and bat first, I think nothing less than 270, 280 is expected out of them. 250 is just a below par score, and I feel that for women's cricket in the Vizag wicket, the new normal is at least 270, because then only you can challenge your opponent. And also after what happened against South Africa, I think the team that chases has a better opportunity, because now Dew has always come into the picture, and especially with the spinning lineup both the teams have, Dew will be a bigger factor. So win the toss, bowl first, back your batsman, and go chase that total down.
Absolutely. You're talking about Vizag. At the end of the day, is a coastal stadium that is along the coast. So that humidity, dew is always a factor. Considering that it has rained in Hyderabad in the past few days as well. So I absolutely agree with you. Considering the fact that they themselves didn't bat well in their last game as well. Okay, we should be bowling first. We should back our bowlers first, because we have it in our spinners to really make them struggle to get those two. I feel 290, 280 something if they'll be eyeing for. So if you restrict them to somewhere around 250, I think we have the confidence in ourselves to go on and get that score, because again we bat deep as well. So you're talking about 8 batsmen in our lineup. So it's and the kind of batsmen that hold the middle order there as well, they have that explosiveness to them. Considering if you need a 100 ball 100 in the last 10 overs last 15 overs or 20 overs, they have it in themselves to get that score as well.
Absolutely, and 8 proper batsmen. Then you also have Sneh Rana, who can contribute to that very well. But now let's talk about what's the points table say. India is at number 3 right now with 2 victories in the 3 matches with a net run rate of plus 0.9. What do you feel about this round robin format? Does this give a more fair chance to the team that actually has more potential?
Yeah, I think all the World Cup formats have now shifted to this, and I think it's fair, because you get to play literally every team before you go on and claim that you are the champion. Because sometimes we've seen it in previous World Cups that one of the teams has had a very easy run to the final, and then somehow they clinch the final, which is not really exactly fair to the other team as well. So this also gives you time. So if you have had a slow start in the start, then you can always win those 3-4 games at the end and get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. And then let's talk about who's at number 1. Australia is at number 1 with 3 matches, 2 victories and the match did not happen because of the rain. In Sri Lanka, number 2 we have England. Both of these teams going very strong, 2 victories in 2 matches, and England have performed absolutely fantastically. They completely shattered South Africa, won by 10 wickets. Then again they defeated Bangladesh. So one of the bigger teams, they have defeated it. But But India, Australia, England, and South Africa, these are the teams that have actually the potential to go up to the semi-finals.
Yeah.
And now you've lost against one.
Yeah.
So you have to come back and redeem
beat the
yourself
other two.
against Australia. So if you lose against the top two, if by chance New Zealand clutches at the later end of the tournament, you might not qualify for the semi-final. That's a very long talk, lot of matches remaining. But still, you have to start preparing yourself from now, get on that winning horse. But there's a very interesting thing I would like to point out. You remember the 2011 World Cup?
I do.
Yeah, so India lost against South Africa in the third match,
Yeah.
in the league stage
Yeah,
match,
yeah.
and they went on to win the home World Cup.
Oh,
so
yes.
we have two things that are in common. So home World Cup and
We've
we've
been
lost to
beaten by
South
South
Africa.
Africa, yeah.
So what do you feel about that?
I mean, if considering how the team is set as well, considering you have probably Harmanpreet Kaur playing one of her last few World Cups, you have Smriti Mandhana, who is
Probably at the peak of her career.
probably at the peak of her career, and probably I would say is in the conversation to be the best batsman in the world right now as well in women's cricket. You have a very stable lineup, and that is something that always matters. It's not always about having those 2-3 stars in the team. Sometimes it's all about having a balanced lineup in your team as well. And this is the time you're playing in your home. Okay, we have a good precedent being set by the men's team, who has absolutely demolished everyone in the Asia Cup.
Yeah.
So now is the time to go on to the next level and win this Women's World Cup. And this victory against Australia is going to be very, very significant in getting that done.
Absolutely, it's going to be very, very significant, not just from the points table point of view, but also from a mental point of view, that if you can defeat the 7-time world champion, you can genuinely go on and claim that trophy that is happening in your country itself. But anything else that you would want to add for this important match?
I feel, the approach that we've put, I think that is a perfect approach. There is nothing to fear. Just because you have a giant in front of you doesn't mean you can't slay the giant.
Yeah.
So for everyone in the team, I feel there should be nothing going on in their head as to because we've just come off a defeat that we should have ideally won that game as well. So I don't think anyone in the team should be keeping that in their head. You should just go after the bowlers, play the way you've been playing. In the start, just go after the bowlers. Get those runs in the power play and then build upon it to then get to a good score. In bowling as well, okay, don't fear the fact that you have a Beth Mooney or Ellis Perry. Ellis Perry, by the way, is at the end of her career. So she's probably past her prime.
Yeah.
Okay, no disrespect to her.
Yeah.
But this is the time. In fact, you had the captain of Australia herself saying that she feels that India is the favourites right now. So you have such commentary coming. Obviously, there are mind games involved in that as well.
Absolutely.
But if they have such commentary coming in from their dugout, it means that they are not they're not underestimating you or anything. They know what you're bringing, and it's the home crowd. I hope everyone who's in Vizag and around the country is buying those tickets and is going to be there at the stadium, full house, supporting our women in blue and helping them get the job done.
And especially talking about the mind games, especially and after 2023 World Cup final defeat, I don't think we're gonna talk about home crowd in front of Australian crowd.
Yeah.
We don't want to be silenced, but we want to make the opponent silent, and this is a very good opportunity to defeat Australia, go on and meet them in the semi-final or final, because I'm predicting the way Australia has played, they're gonna reach at least the semi-final. But it's a very good chance for Indian batsmen to pick up, build that kind of confidence. Smriti Mandhana has a chance to score right back into the form. As you said, the starts are coming, the big total hasn't come yet, and so does go for Harmanpreet Kaur. And what happens is, when the later end of the tournament comes, the team that has peaked at that particular point of time eventually goes ahead and wins the World Cup. So that's what we hope for Team India, and we wish them all the best. But what you have to do is stay tuned with NewsX.
Thank you for watching.